The stage lights dimmed, and the world seemed to hold its breath. A quiet boy in a faded white shirt stepped forward, clutching a microphone with trembling hands. His shoes were worn, his jeans slightly too big, but his eyes, filled with fear and hope, caught the light. The audience whispered, wondering who he was, where he came from, and if he was ready for a moment that could change his life forever. Then, the music began. The first notes of "Let Her Go" echoed through the auditorium, and something extraordinary started to happen. His name was Liam. 14 years old. From a small town that most maps forgot. His life had never been easy. His father left when he was 6, and his mother worked double shifts at a diner to keep them fed. Nights were often cold, dinners often small, but music was always there. Liam's mother used to hum songs while washing dishes, her voice soft and tired, yet filled with warmth. She was his first audience, his first fan, his first reason to sing. But 1 year before this moment on stage, everything fell apart. His mother grew sick, too sick to work, too sick to sing. Hospitals became home. Liam spent his evenings sitting by her bedside, playing old songs on his battered guitar. One night, as she lay weak but smiling, she whispered, "Promise me, Liam, that you'll sing, no matter what happens." He nodded, tears running down his cheeks, not knowing it would be the last promise he'd ever make to her. After she passed away, the world grew quiet. The little house felt empty, every song too heavy to sing. Liam almost gave up music altogether. He stopped going to school for a while, lost in grief, lost in silence. But one night, while walking past a street performer singing "Let Her Go," something inside him stirred. That song felt like his story, of love, loss, and learning to let go. That night, he picked up his guitar again. He began to sing, not to be famous, but to feel close to her once more. Months later, when auditions for a televised talent show came to his city, a friend convinced him to try. He didn't think he was ready, but deep down, he wanted to keep his promise. He borrowed bus fare, carried his guitar, and waited in line among hundreds of dreamers. When it was finally his turn, he almost turned around. His hands shook, his voice wavered. But then he remembered his mother's words, "No matter what happens," and he stepped onto that stage. Now, under the blinding lights, his voice carried a truth that silenced the entire room. Every lyric of "Let Her Go" poured straight from his heart. He didn't try to impress anyone. He just told his story through the melody. The judges, usually quick to smile or critique, sat frozen. One of them covered her mouth as tears began to fall. The audience leaned in, as if afraid to breathe too loudly and break the spell. The last note lingered in the air, trembling, beautiful, and full of pain. Then, for a heartbeat, there was silence. And suddenly, the crowd erupted. People rose to their feet, cheering, crying, clapping. The judges looked at each other, their eyes shining. One of them, moved beyond words, reached forward and slammed the golden buzzer. The sound of the confetti cannon filled the hall as golden pieces of paper rained down on Liam. He stood there in disbelief, tears running freely, clutching his microphone while the crowd chanted his name. In that moment, it wasn't about fame or success, it was about survival, love, and keeping a promise. When the host came on stage, Liam couldn't speak. He just looked up, smiled through his tears, and said softly into the mic, "That was for my mom." The judges nodded, still wiping their eyes. "She would be so proud," one whispered. The video of his performance went viral overnight. Millions watched, millions cried, millions felt something real. But for Liam, the truest victory came later that night when he looked up at the stars, the same way he used to when his mother was alive, and whispered, "I did it, Mom." For the first time in a long time, the silence didn't hurt, it felt peaceful. The weeks that followed brought interviews, offers, and opportunities. Yet Liam stayed humble. He continued to sing at hospitals, orphanages, and small-town events. He wanted others who had lost someone to remember that music could heal. That grief, while heavy, could become a song worth singing. Liam's journey taught millions that no dream is too far when it's fueled by love, and no loss is too great to silence the heart. His voice carried more than melody, it carried a message. That even when life takes everything from you, there's still something beautiful left to give. And so, every time he sang "Let Her Go" from that day on, the world listened, not just to the song, but to the story of a boy who found hope in heartbreak, and light in the darkness. A boy who kept his promise.